No.
This isn't a request. I'm an adult in my own place. You don't get to make demands about what I do with it. That's when his demeanor shifted. The frustrated dad act dropped and something harder took its place. You think you're so much better than the rest of us, don't you? Got your fancy apartment, your accounting job, acting like you're too good to help family. This isn't
With
about
every officer back to hell, we had a brief respite from the dead. Enough time at least for Herr Wolf to analyze the intel the dead hunter had brought back.
How about the boundary of not
Translating the documents revealed 4 key
He doesn't
locations.
need help. He needs consequences. There's left my mouth. You ungrateful piece of work, he says. Bloodstains on it. I got in my car and just sat there. My hands were shaking. I kept replaying what just happened. My father, the man who was supposed to protect me, had just beaten me in a parking lot because I wouldn't enable my deadbeat brother. Then something clicked in my brain. A weird calm came over me. I pulled out my phone and called 911. The operator answered and I said very clearly, I need to report an assault. My father just attacked me in a parking lot. I gave them all the information. My location, my name, my father's name and description, his license plate number, everything. The operator said they were officers and asked if I needed an ambulance. I said no. I could drive myself to the hospital if needed, but I wanted to file a police report. 2 police cars showed up within 10 minutes. I gave my statement to the officers, showed them my injuries, told them exactly what happened, that I refused to let my brother move in. My father had confronted to me at my workplace physically prevented me from leaving, and then assaulted me when I refused to change my mind. One officer took photos of my face by scraped hands and the rip in my shirt. The other one took down all the details. My father's information, the timeline of events, the threats he'd made. They asked if there were any security cameras. There were. My office building had cameras covering the parking. Press charges? One officer asked. Absolutely. They seemed a bit surprised. Apparently, family assault cases usually result in people backing down and trying to handle it privately, but I was clear. I want to press full charges. Assault and battery. I want this documented and prosecuted. The officer said they contacted my father and likely arrested him. My father didn't know where I lived. I'd never given him my new address after moving. After they left, I sat in my car and called my workplace security, explained what had happened, and asked for the parking lot footage from that evening. They said they'd save it and provide it to the police upon request. Then, I drove myself to an urgent care clinic, got checked out, and documented every injury. The doctor noted the facial contusion, the rib bruising, and scraped hands. Everything got photographed and written up in a medical report. By the time I got home, it was almost 11 p.m. I was exhausted and emotionally drained. But I also felt something I hadn't expected. Relief. For years, I'd been the family punching bag, metaphorically speaking. Tonight, it had become literal, and I'd finally drawn a line in the sand that couldn't be uncrossed. I texted my boss explaining I'd been in an incident and would need the next day off. He immediately called me concerned. I gave him the basic story. Family dispute was not physical. Police were involved. I had medical documentation. He told me to take whatever time I needed, and that HR would be looped in, since it happened in the company parking lot. Then, I silenced my phone and went to bed. The next morning, I woke up to 47 missed calls and probably 100 plus text messages. I didn't read any of them. I made coffee, took some pain medication, and waited. The messages ranged from disbelief to fury. My mom sent six voicemails, each one more hysterical than the last. The first one was confused. Why are the police here? What did you tell them? Call me right now. By the sixth one, she was screaming into the phone about how I was destroying our family and that I better fix that immediately. Nathan's message was particularly self-centered. Dude, what the heck? Dad's getting arrested because you can't take a joke. Now everyone's mad at me because of my problem. Stacy congrats me. Was the actual problem, not my response to it. My aunt texted saying she was shocked and appalled at my actions, that family doesn't call the police on family, and that I should be ashamed. My grandmother sent a message saying she was praying for me because I had clearly lost my way. Various cousins chimed in with their opinions, most of them negative. Around 10 a.m., 2 police officers showed up at my door. They informed me that they had gone to arrest my father that morning. He was being charged with assault and battery. He'd been taken into custody, processed, and was being held pending a bail hearing. The officers told me the arrest hadn't gone smoothly. My father had apparently tried to argue that this was all a misunderstanding, that I was being dramatic, that families have disagreements, that this didn't need to involve police. My mom had been there during the arrest, hysterical and screaming at the officers that they were destroying their family. The officers asked if I wanted a restraining order. I said yes. Hours, my father had a temporary restraining order requiring him to stay at least 500 feet away from me, my home, and my workplace. That's when my phone really exploded. My mom called 15 times in a row. My aunt, my grandmother Nathan, even some cousins I barely talked to. Everyone had opinions about what I'd done. I finally answered my mom's call. She was hysterical, screaming about how I'd had my father arrested. How could I do this? I said calmly, in a parking lot because I wouldn't let Nathan move in with me. It wasn't that serious. You're blowing this out of proportion. He punched me in the face and kicked me while I was on the ground. I must have provoked him. Your father wouldn't just attack you for no reason. Beaten and bloodied, I was still somehow at fault in her eyes. Her golden child system couldn't allow for the possibility that maybe, just maybe, Dad had blocked. Within an hour, I'd cut off about 15 family members. The peace was immediate and glorious. Over the next few days, I learned through some cousins who hadn't harassed me that my family was in a complete meltdown. My father had been on bail, but was facing criminal charges. The restraining order meant he couldn't come to family gatherings if I was there. My mom was telling everyone I destroyed family over nothing. Nathan was living with my aunt now, and apparently she was able to pay $300 rent and some stores. My grandmother tried to organize some kind of intervention. She called my work phone, which I'd forgotten to lock, and left a message about how disappointed she was in me, how I was tearing the family apart, and how I needed to drop the charges immediately and let bygones be bygones. She actually said that. Let bygones be bygones. Like my father's fists hitting my face were just some minor social faux pas that was I say that was my own bad. If I dropped the charges and let this slide, they could do whatever they wanted to me.
This is how baby is.
HR had to send out showed up at my office building lobby. Security escorted her out. The footage was damning. Crystal clear video of my father grabbing me, shoving me, punching me, kicking me while I was down. His lawyer tried to argue about provocation, but the prosecutor shut that down. There's no legal justification for beating your adult son in a parking lot. About 3 weeks later, my father's lawyer offered a plea deal. If I dropped the charges, my father would plead to a lesser charge of community service and maintain the restraining order for 1 year. I rejected the deal. I plead guilty to assault and battery. We go to trial. Those are the options. I nearly lost it when they heard it. My mom was in my lawyer's office begging me to reconsider. My grandmother sent me a filled with biblical quotes about forgiveness. My aunt showed
I'm bumping.
what my father did and minimize it. My resolve only got stronger. It wasn't that bad, and family forgives just confirmed I was doing the right thing. Pretty straightforward. The prosecutor presented did their best, but the blood deliberated for less than 3 hours. The trial lasted 2 days. The was played for the jury. Several jurors physically reacted with another question, and I the video showed everything clearly. My testimony took most of day 2. I kept my voice steady and factual. I could hear recounting what happened.
Let's go.
My father's lawyer tried to trip me up during cross-examination about my relationship with my brother. I resented my parents. I answered each question calmly, guilty on all counts. My father was sentenced to 6 months in county jail with the possibility of work release plus 2 years probation, anger management classes, and the restraining order had destroyed our family over pride and selfishness, how I'd sent my father to jail over a minor disagreement, and how she was ashamed to call me her son. Several relatives commented agreeing with her. I screenshot all of it saved and didn't respond to a single word.
Oh,
Tried one last time to reach out, and a friend of a friend sent me a message saying that he moved in with our aunt, got a job at a warehouse, and was trying to put life together. He said he hoped I was happy with what I'd done, and that eventually I regret destroying our family over my own. After the sentencing, I
oh, I like bullets.
cousins that they heart. My dad
Oh, that's right. Oh, I'm sorry. Did you all want to live it? No fuck. Oh, crap. Oh, shit. 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 Ah! Don't want to finish. God damn it.
We've been together for about 6 months now. She's never once suggested I should reconcile with my family or give things a chance. She just respects that I made a decision and stuck with it.
I need a purple.
My grandmother passed away. Natural causes.
Sorry, guys.
I found out on Facebook.
I'm told each other. I don't.